I'm still considering it, but I'm a little bit less excited for it than I was before because, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a year and 3 months with my 2023 Mazda CX-50 Turbo Premium Plus in polymetal gray, and I'm thinking about replacing it, getting rid of this, and today that's what we're discussing, what I'm going to replace this with. So, as you guys know, I've made many videos on this car. I love this vehicle. I think for the price, it is stupid good value. Nice yellow MR2 in front of me. I haven't driven one of those yet. If you do have one in Vegas and want me to review it, please do reach out. JubbalAndCars.com. Fill out the form on the website. So, essentially, I'm going to be replacing this with another CUV that is going to allow me to tow a vehicle to the track. That's the main reason why I want to get rid of this. I love just about everything about it. I think it's a phenomenal vehicle for the price, for its class, the driving dynamics. If you are a driving enthusiast, they're not going to disappoint. But it can only tow 3,500 pounds. And that's a problem because I want to tow my track toy, whether that's going to be, well, it's no longer going to be my GR86, but it might be an S2000 or a Miata or some other car. I need to be able to tow around 5,000 or 6,000 pounds to have both the trailer and the vehicle safely towed to the track and back. And this is just not going to cut it, 3,500 pounds. And as many of you know, the CX-70 was just announced last Friday. And I think a lot of us were disappointed in a way, right? Because we're expecting a vehicle that's between the size of the CX-50 and the CX-90 to slot in between 190 something inches, whereas the CX-90 I think is 200 and something. This one's like 184-ish. So something, you know, in the middle in terms of size. But it turns out the CX-70 is essentially just a CX-90 without the third row, which is silly. Seems like a missed opportunity. But I'm still considering it, but I'm a little bit less excited for it than I was before because the CX-90, it's a little bit too much size for me. I mean, I have a girlfriend, but there's no dog, there's no kids, and I don't need that much space. I want to be able to tow. I would love that powertrain, the straight six, and the mild hybrid system. I'd love that for its, you know, the driving dynamics and the towing capacity, but I don't know that if I need that size. However, the price, brand new, it hasn't been announced yet, but if it's a little bit cheaper than the CX-90, it might still be very competitive. Because again, Mazda is providing a lot of value for the price. But the other vehicle is actually a BMW X5 that I'm considering. Now my buddy Bryce, who you've seen in this video up here, his first ever track day, he got a 2019 X5 recently. That's the first year of the refresh, and he loves it. He actually is egging me on to drive his because it's going to convince me and convert me to being a BMW fan and getting that for my next SUV. And I know that BMW SUVs, CUVs, drive pretty well for their class, right? They're maybe not quite to the same driving dynamics as Porsche Cayenne and Macan, but I feel pretty confident in assuming it's probably going to drive better than a CX-50 and a CX-90 by some considerable margin. The question is whether or not that improvement in driving dynamics is worth the BMW price tag, because to get something new, I don't really want to spend that much money. And if I'm going used, the B58, which is going to be available in certain trims, is an amazing engine. And that reliability is going to be rock solid, the drivetrain. But the other, you know, the electronics and such, I'm not sure. I'd have to do more research to see how the reliability is. I generally enjoy buying cars new because I like the warranty, the peace of mind. As you guys know, I had a lower control arm failure in my CX-50 not too long ago, and I covered that up in this video. And the great thing was that I could take my vehicle to the Mazda dealership and show them the problem. I had a loaner, problem was fixed, no cost to me, handled under warranty. It's a nice experience, right? And a lot of us, as we get older, start optimizing more for convenience than just saving money, the dollar amount, right? Maybe you're gonna pay, like I was in India recently, yeah, I paid an extra $30 to use the taxi from the hotel to take me to the airport at 3 a.m. rather than worrying about Uber or something else that's less reliable. I don't want to worry about anything. The stress is just, the $30 is worth it, right? So, speaking of which, I I don't wash my cars anymore. For the last few years, I've hired a mobile detailer to wash my car, and kind of annoying. I mean, detailers should know better, but my detailer, who I've been using for a while now, he had a new guy. New guy comes, and they aren't using the, maybe a clean cloth or whatever on my actual gauge cluster right here. And after one of these washes, it just gets all scuffed up, and it's super apparent when the light hits it just right. And I was kind of irritated, but I mean, I'm not going to ask him to replace it. I mean, he does good work. I've been using him for a while, and I just told him, hey man, you can't have that guy work on my car anymore. I want you to be the only one. You have new guys, cool, use them with other clients, but I need you to work on my cars because this, stuff like that is just not, I'm not cool with that. So, and especially he knows I'm getting the Lotus Emira, and I'm like, especially when I get the Lotus Emira, I'm going to be even more particular about not scuffing things up. I want the car to be in great condition. So what I'm doing right now in preparation for the Emira is, as you guys may know, it's not legal to sell the car because of some CARB regulations and such, and Lotus is working on getting that approved. We thought it was going to be end of January, but it's been delayed. So they've been teasing me, they've been teasing all of us, and my Emira is still at the dealership, safe and sound, but can't take it home yet. But once I do take it, I want to get tint installed. I want to figure out what I'm going to do for paint protection, if anything. I've done PPF on the front of my Scion FRS, which I kind of regret because it was like $1,000, and that car just isn't special enough. It just wasn't worth it. So on my GR86, I got it ceramic coated for $500, the whole car, but no PPF. And on this vehicle, I did nothing at all because I knew I was going to, not hold on to this vehicle for too long. And the other thing I'm definitely doing is ceramic coating, because I've done that on my GR86, I did it on my FRS, and it makes cleaning your paint that much easier, which I appreciate. The question is PPF. So should I do the whole car? Should I do the frontal? And I think part of that decision is going to be understanding your bias, right? So for me, I tend to be extra careful with things, and then later on be like, that was silly, I didn't need to be that careful with something. I'm essentially never the opposite, where I'm like, damn, I was too rough on this thing, I wish I took better care of it. And I think a lot of people that come from certain types of backgrounds where you have like a scarcity mindset and you can't easily replace an object if it gets broken, I think a lot of people have that mindset. So with the Emira, initially I was thinking I'm going to do a full body PPF, and now I'm thinking maybe just frontal, because like it's not like a super exotic car. I'm not sure how much that's going to influence resale value. I should do more research actually on resale value and PPF to see the actual numbers, how much it makes sense. I think front makes sense because you're avoiding a lot of the rock chips, and on my GR86, which I've tracked, I do have plenty of rock chips, especially when you're on track and you're trailing someone trying to get them to move out of your way. You're going to get a lot of rocks kicked up. And I do plan on tracking my Emira at least a little bit. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now. A lot of cars moving. I'm selling the GR86. I still haven't listed it yet because I traveled to India for 2.5 weeks and just been very busy. So I need to list my GR86, sell that. I need to figure out what I'm going to replace that with. I'm thinking an S2000 or a Miata. I want to make a decision on CX-70 versus BMW X5. Those are the top two contenders. The Mercedes, GLE, I don't think it's as competitive as the X5. And I do want to see the CX-70 in person and try it out again with just 2 rows to see how I feel about that. Drive both the X5 and that back to back. Obviously, this is going to be a used X5 to stay within my budget because I want to stay below 50 or 60K for the SUV for the replacement for this vehicle. And then the Emira. So that's the one I'm the most excited about. I don't know when I'm going to get it. I'm hoping it's sometime in February. My sales guy said they're predicting another 30 days. So hopefully by the end of February, I'll have the car in my garage. We'll have plenty of new content about that. But I'm curious what you guys think. To replace the CX-50, should I go CX-70? Should I go X5? Should I go something else entirely? Let me know with a comment down below. I always appreciate your input. And if you'll excuse me, got some Costco shopping to do. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in that next one.